Are you ready?
Are you ready? Are you ready for some 200-mile-an-hour action? Are you ready? Can't wait to get this done. I'm ready.
Good times are coming your way. Let the games begin.
For the opening season of OPA.
Ocean City, Maryland.
Sei pronto.
Are you ready for some big speed?
You ready?
The OPA racing!
Let's go have some fun.
Bring it on.
Get me riled up. We'll be getting it going.
OPA Racing on Versus.
Be there.
All units stand by for a first start. Green flag, green flag. Coming up on the turn.
The OPA has returned to the OC. We are in Ocean City, Maryland for the first stop of the Offshore Powerboat Racing Association Series presented by Geico. Hi everybody, Rich Hollenberg here. Thanks for tuning in, and if you have the need for speed, you had better not change the channel. The fastest boats in the world have descended upon the eastern shore of the Atlantic to compete for not only boating bragging rights, but the chase for a national high points championship. Along the way, starting now and over the next 8 weeks, they will test the extreme limits of speed on the water and dance with danger every step of the way. We'll get to the action in just a second, but right now, let's go down to the pits where my broadcast partner, Mike Yawoski, is standing by up close with a reigning world champion.
Thanks, Rich. Well, the last time we saw this Miss Geico 50-foot Mystic was in 2009 in Key West, Florida. Since then, they put scoops on it, they put new drives on it, they moved their engines, and redid their fuel tanks. Mark and Scotty have not been in this boat since Key West, Florida, so it's going to be very, very interesting as they go out for testing today here in the Atlantic Ocean. Back to you.
Talking about Mark Granite and Scotty Begovich, the team to beat from Miss Geico. Huge crowds on hand along the boardwalk of Ocean City, ready for more action on the water. And earlier today, Class 4, 5, and 6 took to the Atlantic, and the stage was set for the rest of the season. And in Class 6, 4 teams taking to the water in an absolute dogfight. And leading the pack, a set of Smith brothers.
The Was Up 2 boat, who also coincidentally are Smith brothers. We had a great season with last year, running deck to deck with them.
It came down to the last race, Cambridge, Maryland. We lost by 1 point. It was a heartbreaker, but this year we're gunning for them.
The thing we need to do is keep it going as close to 70 as possible and stay close to that green Was Up boat.
And Mike, Nick Smith certainly has a target on his back in the Was Up 2. He's the son of national champion Super V driver Ed Smith, and he was bound to make his dad proud, taking the checkered flag and the run for the national high points.
The boat ran great, and Cotner couldn't hang. There's only room for one Smith brothers in here.
Great way to start the season in Ocean City for Nick Smith and the Was Up 2, followed by Cotner Trailer, Not Guilty, and Maxed Out. And Mike, the largest fleets in our class has brought out some outrageous battles.
Class 5 is the best way to get into offshore powerboat racing with the largest fleet in all of the OPA series.
You know, Warren and Al Culberson in the Mitigator boat, another very competitive team. They've won a lot of ocean races themselves.
Plan on being out front the entire time and staying there. That's the only way to win in this class. It's a lot of tight competition. If you get behind, you can't catch up, and that's the way it is.
Well, depending on the conditions tomorrow, we'll adjust the weight of the boat by where we put the fuel. We put the fuel in the front of the boat or in the back. If it gets rough out, we'll put more weight in the front of the boat, try and keep that bow down and keep it level.
As the season goes on even more in the class, I think you're going to see multiple winners in Class 5. Hopefully, we're going to win most of them.
The 3-time national champ Specialized Racing going deck to deck with Reinforcer in Class 5. Then Outrageous threw a wrench into their plans, mixing it up for first place, but nobody gave any credit to Sea Systems Mitigator. Warren Mack and Al Culbertson had a great day here in the Atlantic Ocean.
First rough water race we've had together, and Al was phenomenal today. And I really want to thank Sea Systems for helping us out, because we wouldn't be here without them.
Mitigator takes the win in Class 5 with Who's Your Daddy in second and Specialized rounding out the top 3. Rich, let's go to Class 4.
Let's do it, and in Class 4, the military had a strong presence here as Scott Brown of the National Guard making sure he came home with a victory.
You know, we're come loaded for bear. We got a big Super Cat motor in the boat, and come tomorrow, I hope everybody in Class 4 is ready because we're bringing a big stick to the fight.
Yeah. We know our limitations, and but this one is a challenge. This is kind of like a Jeff Gordon couldn't win at several races with sites, and this is one that one of these days we're going to get. Maybe it'll be this year, but we're going to be safe, and we're going to bring it back with the bottom side down.
We were out in the lead in the Key West World Championships last year, and we were side by side with the Simmons race team, and we were just taking the lead when we flipped over. So I think we have some unfinished business here this weekend.
Unfinished business indeed. Class 4 put veteran teams on the battlefield. Simmons Racing and National Guard battling deck to deck till both teams had mechanical problems, giving the win to Absolutely Not. So Mark Gibbons was accurate in saying he had unfinished business. He finished it on the waters of the Atlantic Ocean, and he's basking in the glory of the win. Absolutely Not is your winner in Class 4, followed by Scott Brown and the National Guard boat, and in third place, Team Perfect. Some truly exciting racing from those classes 4, 5, and 6, but that's just an appetizer. The main course is coming up. The drivers, the throttlemen, the pit crews, they're all making their final adjustments to get their boats on the water in the Atlantic Ocean. The 2010 OPA Offshore Racing Series, presented by Geico, is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on your insurance needs. By Coke. Twist the cap to refreshment. And by Coors. Toss a cold silver bullet to a friend now. Welcome back to beautiful Ocean City, Maryland, everybody. I'm Rich Hollenberg alongside Mike Yawoski. What a terrific race site. The fans here in full throat on the boardwalk and on the beach, Mike. And we all know that there is a lot of work that goes into getting these boats on the water.
As we start to get the boats craned in, this is the first race of the season for a lot of these teams. A lot of nervous jitters, a lot of nervous bugs, but it's going to be time for these guys to go hit the water. And some issues for the big boat, Miss Geico. I caught up with Mark Granite, their driver, during the break.
So, Mark, the fine-tuning's going in on race day, and tell us what happened. We saw quite a show here.
Yeah, we're a little disappointed. Actually, it's a pretty common thing when you do a hot start on an engine where there's some fuel loaded up from checking all the system, and it loads up in the back of the engine. Usually when we start an engine, there'll be a little bit of flame, and that's that excess fuel burning off. But as you can feel, we got a 15, 20 mile an hour wind here on race day, and that wind hit that extra pool of fuel, and it blew the fuel right back over on the boat. So as bad as it looks, it really is a little bit of surface damage. Still, my mind's now thinking about it, and I don't want to think about it out on the race course, and it's just something that you got to deal with.
Mark sounds like a cool customer there, but let me tell you, it was panic in the pits on the Miss Geico team. Another boat that had some issues going into the race was the Infinity boat, and Mike caught up with their driver.
The number 8 Infinity Super Cat Light, Morton Lindemann. Morton, an issue in testing.
A small issue in testing. I couldn't actually start the port-side engine in gear, and it's not very good. We had brand new propellers that we brought for this race, and we haven't tested them before. So that was the first one with the probes. So the probes actually hit the end of the drive there and it locked them up. That was the first time that's ever happened to me.
Infinity's main competition is Amsoil boat, and that's number 77 throttle man Bob Teague for Amsoil, helping out the competition.
We're here to keep the whole class together. It seems like we're constantly working with these guys, and we kind of run as a pair of teams, and they had some issues today, and so we jumped on their boat, started working on it. So they're gonna be running, and we're all good. They had some issues with the propellers fitting with the gear cases. They thought it was something like a drive or something, but we narrowed it down to something really simple. And as soon as I get done here, I'm gonna go finish my work on their boat.
And Mike, they want to kill each other on the course, but they are friends on the shorelines, aren't they?
Great competition, great camaraderie in that Super Cat Light class, but now let's look at these 750 boats with number 95 and 96 Spirit of Qatar, all the way from the country of Qatar over in the Middle East. Sheikh Hassan and Steve Curtis. There you see Sheikh Hassan getting ready to climb into his boat. True international flavor here for their first race in the United States.
We're here in front of a true team effort, the only team that has 2 boats on the water this weekend in Ocean City, Maryland. And Team Qatar, you obviously are coming over to the United States. There's a lot of competition here. What are you most looking forward to?
We're looking for serious competition. I mean, it's it's open waters out there, and I think we should be able to race hard with with the American teams and race hard and maybe create a good show. There's more work on him and a little bit work on me, so that makes my life a little bit easier. Back there, it's more of a driver's race than throttleman. So I'm taking a break this time. So we will have to work hard this day today.
Throttle's always important in every race, but especially when it's rough water. And it seems like everybody's got a lot of questions about what the weather and the wind is going to be doing, Steve. So tell me a little bit about what your game plan is going into this race.
Well, it's been very changeable, the weather out there. Yesterday we went out and tested, and it's like 5 foot with a chop on top, a little all over the place, which kind of suits us. But I think the weather's going to come down today. I think it's going to be big, long swell, so you're going to see a lot of air time out there, but, a bit more predictable than yesterday.
Well, we wish you a lot of luck this weekend and certainly throughout the season. Team Qatar making it truly a world championship field for the OPA. Well, we're certainly not weathermen. Neither are the drivers or the throttlemen. We have no idea what Mother Nature has in store in Ocean City. But what we do know, Mike, the big boats are on the water and they're heading out onto the race course.
You can see the bright green Miss Geico catamaran has gotten over its issues. The fans are lining the beach. We're getting ready to go racing.
And when we come back, the green flag drops in Ocean City. Welcome back once again to the 2010 OPA Offshore Racing Series presented by Geico. I made my way down to race headquarters now, and I'm going to try to grab a word with the ever-popular team owner of Miss Geico, Mr. John Hagen, who's checking out the pace boat, ready for the flag to drop. And he's certainly got his mindset on the race course right now. Let me just see if I can grab him for a second. Does it make it harder for you? I know you have all the faith in the world in your team and Mark and Scotty and everybody. Does it make it harder when you can't test in Ocean City and then you have to go first gun on the race day?
Oh, it's just incredible, because I tell you what, right in front of us right here, we've got 3 huge holes. It's the sand comes up a little bit, so they dance and they jump. We basically, the courses change every year here because getting the permits to bring us close as possible. First year I was here, they had us like 400 yards offshore. Nobody could even see the boats. That's where you see the spectator fleet all the way out there. That's about 400 yards. And now they have us so close here that, now you have to dance to the waves and, they have to bring everybody out of the water. But I tell you what, it's just good racing here. My team's ready. Even though we didn't have a chance to test, it's unfortunate we had a little fire, caught up our bat wing, but the team worked till 2 o'clock in the morning. Thank God for Gary Stray and AMF Offshore Rigging. Put it back together so it doesn't look too scorched, anything like that. Well, you can see right now with the stickers and everything on, it looks perfect. But I'm just proud as heck of my team. Like I always said, no IN team. I'm just proud to be part of this great sport. And thank you all for being here, and I can't wait. We'll talk. We have a couple more things. We got a little problem here.
Never a dull moment. Thanks for your time.
Sir, thank you. Thank you very much. Honor, sir. Thank you.
All right, well, John certainly got his hands full watching the Miss Geico team, and certainly some troubles from race day on forward now. And I'm with Mike Jaworski again in the broadcast booth, and we're taking a look at that Geico team, not in a situation they want to be in.
Struggles continue for the Miss Geico team here in Ocean City, Maryland. Let's hope they can get that boat up and running. If not, the battle will be in Super Cat with Spirit of Qatar and Talkin' Trash.
Spirit of Qatar getting their first look at Talkin' Trash and JD Byrider. In the Cat Lights, we heard from Infinity and Amsoil. They're going deck to deck. Super V's, what's up? Always the boat to beat, but Strictly Business and R-Rated might make it a 3-boat race.
As we go on board boat number 96, Spirit of Qatar, there will be a couple boats on the course today with onboard cameras as we get ready for our start.
The parade lap is done. The fans are in full throat, and you take a look at 4 of the big boats that everybody turns out for.
Talkin' Trash closest to the Geico Caveman Pace boat. Then you've got the 2 Spirit of Qatar boats. That would put JD Byrider just to the left outside of your screen as they begin to line up.
And you can see back on board with Spirit of Qatar, Steve Curtis, the throttle man, is already working the throttles even before the green flag drops. This is a throttle man's race on the rough water, and the green flag has dropped. They passed the pace boat, and we are underway.
JD Byrider got a great start, but look at talking trash on the inside. Jimmy Winters and Vinny Farice are going to try and control this first corner as we go on board Spirit of Qatar. That's talking trash in the upper left-hand part of your screen.
And there's talking trash getting a good start and a great lane. The chopper can't even keep up with talking trash, and we see the Spirit of Qatar boats on the outside.
There's JD Byrider. He is almost deck to deck. But look at these holes here in the Atlantic Ocean. JD Byrider getting some pretty big air.
Just amazing how close to the shore these boats come. What a show for the fans in Ocean City, and what a show for everybody. These boats are giving it all.
JD Byrider gets around Spirit of Qatar. You can see Steve Curtis looking out that window. He's going to wonder where Tony Marcantonio and Mark Kowalski are of that JD Byrider Super Cat 750 team. This is the second wave of starts here in Ocean City, Maryland. If Super Cat Light, Class 1, and Super V all taken here to the Atlantic Ocean.
And Strictly Business has another one of those camaraderie competition things going on with the What's Up boat. That's one to watch, not just here, but all season long.
Look at Lightning Jacks get the hole shot in Class 1 over Rockstar Energy Drink and Cleveland Construction, but Wicked Performance Marine trying to get up in that group.
And that's something that we're going to be looking at all season long. Cleveland Construction, Lightning Jacks going head to head.
Look how rough this ocean is, though. I don't think these teams anticipated such rough water. Wicked Performance Marine, boat number 6, the Catamaran versus V-Bottom in Class 1 as we take a look at Super V.
And if you've never been to a powerboat race like this or never watched one on TV, Mike, it's amazing because people turn out for the big boats, Geico, Qatar, but it's these smaller boats that provide a lot of the theatrics.
R-Rated Racing, a team based right out of Ocean City, Maryland, here at Sunset Marina, tries to go deck to deck with Strictly Business. Was Up is going to control the inside going into turn number 1 as we take a look at the 750 boats. A position change. Talking Trash is now in the middle. Spirit of Qatar is on the inside, and JD Byrider closest to you on your screen.
How does it affect the ride for JD Byrider? He's way on the outside. Is that going to hurt him ultimately?
He may have thought there was smoother water. You know, kind of when you get out a little bit further from the beach, the water may want to flatten out just a little bit. All three boats looks like they're riding the same as we see the other Spirit of Qatar boat. This is boat number 95. He is back in the field just a little bit.
But the 96 boat is still in the heat of battle for first place, and it is a great battle right now between this boat, Talking Trash, and JD Byrider.
Talking Trash, Jimmy Winters, Vinny Farice trying to go for the win here in Ocean City, Maryland.
And we'll be back to find out just where is Miss Geico. Welcome back to Ocean City, Maryland, the OPA Offshore Racing Series presented by Geico. And in the rare instance that these drivers find a little bit of downtime, somehow they still find their way behind a steering wheel. When you're dealing with the OPA, the need for speed extends way beyond the water. And for some of the best drivers in this sport, we have the great equalizer to settle the score. Go-karts.
Some kind of a money thing where anybody that puts granite in the wall gets paid.
Don't you have to catch me first?
Win or crash?
No, what's win or swim?
Win or crash. Win or swim.
That was what you call serious fun, but now back to serious business. Miss Geico, problems in the pits earlier, problems on the water now, Mike.
The engine hatches up on that left-hand motor. Now, that was the motor that caught on fire, but they've reassured me that that's not the issue at this point. We'll go back to your leader overall, Talkin' Trash, boat number 30, as they come out of the upper end of this race course, getting ready to cross the start-finish line.
It's been all systems go for Vinny Rafis and Talkin' Trash. Mike caught up with him earlier.
Number 30, Talkin' Trash. Vinny Rafis. Vinny, first off, JD Byrider, your toughest competition. It's going to be a good race.
Yeah, it should be a good race. I mean, it's the first time he's coming out this year. We already got 2 races under our belt, and just getting all the little bugs worked out of it, but we'll be okay. Unfortunately, my partner Jimmy broke his ankle after the last race in Biloxi last weekend, and we have a fill-in driver, Billy Moff from WHM, so it'll be interesting.
Rich, I spoke to Billy Moff earlier this morning at the drivers' meeting. He told me that he's going to have to protect the inside corners on this Ocean City racetrack because he's afraid that if those Spirited Qatar boats get that inside line, they're going to out-accelerate him and the race will be over for this Talkin' Trash boat.
And you couldn't do a lot better than a fill-in driver like Billy Moff. He is a champion in his own right. And you see the problem that Billy has with that Talkin' Trash boat. Spirited Qatar passing him like he's standing still.
Spirited Qatar carrying just a little bit more speed. These boats have a little bit wider tunnel. They're a little bit longer. They carry a little bit more speed. But look at Talkin' Trash. He actually pushes Spirited Qatar to the outside. Spirited Qatar makes a decision to cut behind him. That's always a risky move because the water is so turbulent in that area.
And a gutsy maneuver by the veteran Billy Moff. Again, riding in a Talkin' Trash boat that he's not used to. His boat, WHM, is what he's more used to, but he is riding it like he stole it.
Let's go back to the problem that Billy Moff had talked about with me earlier. That puts Spirited Qatar on the inside now, which is exactly what Billy Moff did not want. Now, if he wants to protect that line, he's going to have to pinch down on him.
A little bit of a cat and mouse game we're seeing between those two boats. And how about Bob Teague and company in the Amsoil 77?
He is your leader in Super Cat Light. As we look at boat number 8, Infinity, Rich, we brought in some Swedish talent for this race here in Ocean City, Maryland.
Now, Mike, normally I would think you're referring to bikinis, but in this case you're talking about world-class boat racing. Here's a look at a world-class champ in his own right, the What's Up boat.
Every year, we put a lot of time into the boat, improvements here and there, and over the winter we really just put it away. So we're shaking the cobwebs out of it now, and I think she's got it in her for tomorrow, but, you never know. We've got some real strong competition here.
We got another guy to watch, too, the Rated R boat. It's fast. They got crazy Tyler Crockett in there. We're going to give him one, too. When we're out there, strictly business.
The Strictly Business is a 35 fountain compared to Was Up and R-rated, both 38 fountains here in the Super V class, but Strictly Business always a tough competitor.
And Strictly Business finding themselves in second place right now, chasing Ed Smith in the Was Up boat. But you heard Louis mention it. He's got to look out for that R-rated boat, too.
Well, there we see that black and white R-rated boat based right out of here in Ocean City, Maryland. His second year in this Super V class, trying to make up a little bit of ground.
Great racing for the fans, watching those boats tightly packed together. Here's another great race to watch in Class 1, the battle for first. The defending national champion, Lightning Jacks, toward the top of your screen. Right next to him, Wicked, who had some serious problems back here in 2007, Mike.
Serious problems would be considered an understatement. They actually delaminated the bottom of the boat. The boat started to sink. Jay Muller and Stan Porosky at the time didn't want to let the boat sink in the ocean, so they made a hard right turn and washed it up onto the beach. And I can tell you what, Jay will tell you the damage that was done to that boat from driving it up onto the beach. He should have just let it sink.
And Mike, they're still seeing some effects from that crash a few years ago, but what a difference it makes today. They are racing strong, and this battle for first in Class 1 is as exciting as we've seen.
Lightning Jacks going deck to deck. They're getting close. They're going into the corner. Rich, let's also talk about how rough this race course here in Ocean City, Maryland. Lots of air times. Wow, look at that turn by Lightning Jacks. He held it right to the pin. Let's see who can accelerate the quickest.
That is the definition of a hairpin turn in offshore powerboat racing.
Your third place boat in Class 1, Cleveland Construction, Ed and Sean Smith, all the way to us from St. Clair, Michigan. I know that Ed and Sean wanted a better day than what they're having.
And the Rockstar boat making their debut in Ocean City, Maryland, trying to keep pace with some of these veterans. Easier said than done.
Well, 3 cats versus 1 V-bottom. I know Bill McComb is going to have a rough day out there in Ocean City, Maryland.
And the Smith family of Cleveland Construction looking strong. They are certainly veterans, a father and son team, keeping it close in this class.
An old boat, an old team, but a lot of history behind these guys and a great bunch of people. As we see in the 750 class, it's still pretty much the same with JD Byrider talking trash and boat number 96, Spirit of Qatar. Talking trash, your leader, JD Byrider in second, but you could put a blanket over all of these boats.
Is there any chance for JD Byrider to seriously contend for this race, riding way out on that race course like they are?
Well, this is just like NASCAR. See how far he is out from the rest of these boats. When he goes to turn, he has to make up that much more ground to get into the corner and to be tight on the corner. So the long way around the racetrack is not necessarily the fastest, but it might be the smoothest for him.
And maybe their driver, Tony Marcantonio, knows some of them. We don't.
It's going to be kind of a neat season with Sheikh Hassan, the Qatar team here. Very interesting. A lot of difference in the boats, which we're going to try to work together to really make a good showing, a good, nice competition, real tight competition. It's been a lot of work during the wintertime. Ocean City is great. This place is great. We won here in '07. I think we can do it again. But again, we have stiff competition from overseas. These guys don't play, and they're here. The real deal.
Tony Marcantonio knows just how hard it's going to be, but look at the position change once again. Qatar has come back into the middle, giving Talking Trash that inside line. Remember what Billy Muff said, I'm going to control these corners. Now he's in a position to do that again.
Vinny Rafis and company with Talking Trash holding the line on the inside lane as they make another turn, and racing action continues from Ocean City, Maryland. Talking Trash in first in their class, but Spirit of Qatar making their debut in the States and trying to make up ground on Talking Trash. But you know what? When you make turns like you just saw from that aerial view, it's going to be tough to catch Talking Trash. You are watching the OPA Offshore Racing Series presented by Geico on Versus. Rich Hollenberg, Mike Yawoski. You're looking at an aerial view of the Commander Hotel, which also serves as race control for these races in Ocean City, Maryland. We're going to get back to the action on the water. Class 1, what a battle between Lightning Jacks and Wicked.
Wicked Performance Marine pulls out just a little bit over your reigning national champions, Lightning Jacks, both teams out of New Jersey, but it's been a great battle here in Maryland.
Well, we're gonna be running tight with the pack. All the teams are competitive. We're well matched. There's parity across the board. Nobody can really pick a winner before the race starts.
Willie and them guys in Lightning Jacks, they beat us in Cambridge last year, but we just redid the engines in the boat here. We got something for them today.
He's got similar power to us, and the boat's pretty fast. He was a good competitor in the last two races, Patchogue and Cambridge with us, but at the end we ended up winning.
But if you do your homework, you get your prop right, get the setup right, and get up on the top of those waves, we figure we're the guys to chase after.
Well, the Cleveland construction boat sounds like they wanted to be up in this deck-to-deck battle, but maybe a problem with those two new engines he was talking about.
And certainly it's a two-boat race, and we've been seeing it from the get-go. Ed Smith certainly thought he had what it took to compete with these two boats. At least right now, not going to happen.
Wicked Performance Marine starts to make a little bit of a move. Uh-oh, here comes Cleveland Construction. Maybe they got those mechanical issues figured out. They're going to be making a charge at those top two boats.
We might have spoken too soon, Mike. That's not the first time that would have happened. Another look back at the Spirit of Qatar boat, that gorgeous-looking boat, number 96, still trying to chase down Talking Trash. It's amazing. The competitors here in Ocean City, Maryland, have really embraced the Spirit of Qatar team, despite the fact that they know that they are going to be major competition this entire season.
I've started this sport way back in mid-1990s, and was mainly very small, more of a kind of a jet skis, local races. And then the popularity of that sport started to grow.
We are, backed by the Kuwait Sport Marine Federation. So we're representing not only a Marine Federation, but we're also representing the Qatar government, of which is a very important, our image is very important. We have to keep winning. And obviously when at the end of the sport that we are, which is obviously the top end of the sport,
We liked the event, we liked the atmosphere, we liked how things are done differently from what we used to do in Europe and back home in Qatar, so we decided to continue in 2010 with the OPA. He's one of the top throttlemen in the sport. we don't get to talk much inside the cockpit because we know exactly what we want.
So when two people get in the boat together for the first time, it takes a while to join up, work out what each other's going to do.
We've reached to a level that we know where we are, and that's why we're in agreement almost with each other during the race course.
These boats are very, very difficult to drive and control.
But once it comes in Sunday, every boat has a run for itself. So I mean, if 96 wins, 96 wins. If 95 wins, it's 95 wins. The objective is to have the boat on the podium and to give more exposure to Qatar.
You have to be concentrating so hard all the time. I used to race motocross bikes before I raced boats, and there would always be a place on the course where you could relax. There was that one straightaway where you just let it, you knew it was a little flatter, so you knew what was going on. In offshore powerboat racing, you can never do that. You have to be 100% concentrating all the time. Otherwise, especially at the speeds that we're going, obviously, otherwise, if you give it a second, it will bite you.
Well, Mike, Steve and Sheikh Hassan have really both raised the stakes in offshore powerboat racing.
They've brought a Formula One appearance here to the United States of America, but they've also brought Formula One moves as they try to dive to the inside of Talkin' Trash once again.
We've heard this before, we've talked about it before. Billy Moff, the grizzled veteran driving the Talkin' Trash boat as a replacement today, has said under no circumstances is he's going to let the Spirit of Qatar boat take the inside, and so far he's been able to accomplish that.
Well, he must have done that again to Sheikh Hassan and Steve Curtis, because they're right back in the middle. This deck-to-deck battle in this Super Cat 750 class is the one to watch here in Ocean City,
and
Maryland.
How about another shout-out, Mike, to J.D. Byrider on the outside from the get-go when the green flag dropped, and they're still staying close.
J.D. Byrider not letting out of it, but I'm concerned about his boat. It's starting to fly bow high even more, meaning his setup might be going away. But look at this deck-to-deck between Strictly Business and What's Up.
Ed Smith has been dominant in this sport in recent years, but he's getting all he can handle today from his good friend and that Strictly Business boat. You know what? The way to appreciate the power of the power boats is to hear what they bring on the water. Let's do it with Geico. Crank it up. Was I lying or what? Turn down those TV sets now before the neighbors complain. We have more racing action coming up. The final laps are still ahead. Welcome back to Race Weekend, the OPA Offshore Racing Series presented by Geico. And the OPA got a warm welcome from all the fans here in Ocean City. Even the race team took some time to hang out with a few thousand of them. Certainly a good time had by all this weekend in Ocean City, Maryland, but back to the business at hand. Couple laps left before the checkered flag.
A boat number 96, Spirit of Qatar, still on the outside of Talkin' Trash. That means that Billy and Vinny are protecting that inside line just like they said they were going to do from the start of this race.
Vinny looks like a genius for asking Billy Moff to come on over and fill in for this race. Bob Teague and company in the Amsoil 77 boat hanging tough in their class.
Well, this boat also has a backup driver this weekend, Paul Whittier, the normal driver, Mike DeFries, filling in for this Amsoil team.
And Ed Smith in the Was Up boat has put a little distance between itself and the rest of the class.
I guess those cobwebs got worked out quite nicely here in this rough water Ocean City race, but don't count out Strictly Business. They will be able to make a move. Their boat setup is perfect. Look how flat that boat is flying.
We are on board now with Strictly Business, and Louie and company are hanging tough. It's amazing. These two boats park side by side in the pits, and they're virtually side by side on the race course.
I'd hate to interrupt, Rich, but look at this move by Spirit of Qatar, boat number 96 on the inside. They're getting ready to lap the Rockstar energy drink boat. This puts Talkin' Trash. Billy and Vinny are in the exact position they did not want to be in. They've basically given up the lead to Spirit of Qatar.
It's taken almost the entire race for it to happen, but patience pays off. Sheikh Hassan and Steve Curtis, two guys who know exactly what they're doing in that Spirit of Qatar boat. They have taken over the lead, and just like Billy said before the race started, they're going to be tough to catch.
Well, and it shows the experience of this team. It shows their veteranism, so to speak, of just waiting to make that move. They kept poking their nose in there a few times, but they finally made it stick. As you can see, they go around that turn, Talkin' Trash, nowhere to be found. There they are. They're now on the inside trying to make up that ground. But I'm telling you from experience, it's going to be hard to catch this Spirit of Qatar number 96 boat.
We said it in the beginning, it's a throttle man's race, so now it's up to Steve Curtis to make sure he's working those sticks and Sheikh Hassan making those turns.
Talkin' Trash within a rooster tail length of Spirit of Qatar, but I don't think they're going to be able to make it happen. I think once this boat is out in front, once it's opened up its lead, it's not going to let it go.
Billy Roth was quite prophetic in thinking that if he got behind that Spirit of Qatar boat, there wasn't going to be any way they were going to catch him, and it looks like it's all but academic now. The 96 boat, the Spirit of Qatar, Sheikh Hassan, Steve Curtis will win their first race in the OPA Offshore Super Cat class.
A great day for these guys. We know they have to be happy. Not much celebrating going on inside that boat quite yet, but that shows how serious they are.
Congratulations to Sheikh Hassan and Steve Curtis. And how about Bob Teague and company, the Amsoil 77 boat, the winner in the Cat Light division.
Don't forget a backup driver in this boat. Mike DeFries did a great job hanging on to that victory. Here comes Talkin' Trash. Has to be nothing but disappointment for this team here in Ocean City, Maryland.
And Mike, a lot of teams would be thrilled with a second place finish in Ocean City, Maryland, the first race of the season, but not for Reese, not Moff. They knew what they had to do going in, and they just couldn't pull it off at the end. But you got to tip your cap to the Spirit of Qatar team. They were patient, they waited for their opportunity, and they were able to seal the deal in the end.
Well, a great day for all the teams here in Ocean City, Maryland. There's your winner in Super Cat Light, boat number 77, Amsoil. That's Mike DeFries giving you the thumbs up from the deck of the boat. Wicked performance, Marine. You know what? They showed the ocean who was in charge. After that bad season in 2007, they came back and said, we're here to do it.
And Ed and Anthony Smith, another father-son combo, the Was Up boat, victorious again, waving that checkered flag. Certainly a lot of joy from that boat. Not so much from the Geico camp, though. An upsetting day for John Hagen and company. Let me just see if I could grab him for a second to get his final thoughts. So give me the inside scoop. Between now and Sunny Isle, you're going to be back in the shop. You're going to be working on the boat. Give me an insider's view of what it's going to be like at the Miss Geico camp.
Well, anyway, everybody called their wives and their girlfriends and said, you know what, we're not going home. We're going to have to work these guys 20 hours a day just to get everything put back together. I don't know if they have enough energy because we're going to have to rip fins off. We're going to have to put in like the exhaust coming out the back so it doesn't burn up the fin. And all the fuel pumps have to be changed. I'll tell you what, they're not looking forward to going home. But you know what? Sunny House is going to be fabulous. I mean, I can't thank my team, this guy, because they're doing so great. I mean, just being here, honored to be here with Sheikh Hassan and everybody, bringing that international flair in here. The racing was perfect today. I mean, everybody kept their lanes. Nobody got hurt, thank gosh. I mean, that's all I care about. And I'll tell you what, it was some good darn racing out there today. It was just fun.
A good time had by all, and John Hagen and the Geico team always put on a good show, win or lose. And we're back with the winners right after this. The 2010 OPA Offshore Racing Series presented by Geico has been brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on your insurance needs. By Coke. Twist the cap to refreshment. And by Coors. Toss a cold silver bullet to a friend now. Well, the crowds on the boardwalk and on the beach were treated to some sensational racing. The only disappointment this weekend, Miss Geico couldn't finish the race. I caught up with their driver, Mark Granite, dockside. Well, post-race, Mark, you never want to be the driver who actually didn't drive in Ocean City, but I guess you were playing the odds to be a little smarter for the long haul, for the whole season in OPA, right?
Yeah, I mean, I got to tell you, we are totally dejected. It was one of those little things that bit us. So much work has gone into getting this boat together. I'm completely bummed out. Just for my crew, for my team, for all of our fans. You know, it is racing, but we're professionals. And, you know, we put a new fuel pump in, and unfortunately, we didn't get time to test that fuel pump out. Fuel pump took it, you know, and we didn't want to push it and then all of a sudden burn up that engine, $300,000 motor on a bad fuel pump. So Scotty and I looked at each other, we just called it a day. So unfortunately, we couldn't run the boat, but I will tell you this, for the half a mile that we did get it running, it was unbelievable. It felt like he could just hit those throttles, the boat was just gonna take off straight to the moon.
Rest assured, Geico lives to fight another day. Congratulations to our Class 1 winner, Jay Muller and Company in the Wicked Marine boat, and Mike caught up with the winners dockside.
Your winner in Class 1, number 6, Wicked Performance Marine. Jay, the boat looked as good as it ever has.
You know what? It was great coming down here, racing a little rough water again. Greg, it was his first time racing with me in this particular boat, but did a great job. We had a good time. Love the rough water, man.
Looked like it was going to be a really good battle with Lightning Jacks right off of the start.
Yeah, you know what? They were running great. They had a good jump on the start. I had a little more speed. I just kind of saw, I wanted to read them and see how much power they had. They were running unbelievable, but once I picked up the pace about 5 miles an hour, we pulled away from them.
The spec class racing in Super V always proves to be great out in the ocean, and Was Up walked away with the victory today. Rich is down on the docks.
Ed, first race of the year, first win of the year. Take us through. It must feel good.
Yeah, it was nice. You know, you get back in the seat and you go out the inlet and you're like, boy, I don't know. I don't remember this. You know, it's going to take a little while to get back in the saddle. But and Louis from Strictly Business gave us a run there. I mean, oh my goodness. You know, it was rougher than you thought.
In the Super Cat Light division, Amsoil pulls off the victory. One of the legends of the sport, the grizzled veteran, Bob Teague, is with Mike.
Your winner in Super Cat Light, Bob Teague, Mike DeFries, number 77 Amsoil. Bob, how was it out there?
Well, I can tell you that standing at the beach at the Commander when I was with you earlier today, I was thinking it's a little smoother than it was yesterday. I was wrong. It was quite a bit bumpier yesterday. It was almost like last year, and you know, we went out there with probably a little too much propeller, and the weight wasn't exactly right. But you know, when you got a really good driver, you can give him a boat that's not quite as easy to drive, and he did an awesome job. So we weren't actually on cruise control, but you know, when you're in water like that, you're better off running it almost as fast as you can run it to get across the stuff. Except for those occasional punishments, and we had a few of those today. But the boat ran good. Mike did a great job, and we love being here in Ocean City.
The Super Cat 750 class proved to be the battle of the day. Sheikh Hassan and Steve Curtis walking away with their win.
We're with the big winners of the weekend here to kick off the season in Ocean City. Sheikh, congratulations on your first win over here. Must be exciting.
Oh yes, indeed. It was a good race. We enjoyed it. We had fun. The place is absolutely awesome. You know, I didn't think it would be this way, but you know, I really enjoyed it.
What's your reaction to the outpouring of affection that you got from this crowd here in Ocean City?
You know, we want to come back again, for sure. We want to come back again and race just as hard as we did this weekend, and you know, we look forward, you know, for the next race as well.
Steve, the boat looked great on the water. How did it feel when you were in there?
Rough. Oh, yesterday we went out and tested it. It's got windy and overcast, and it was really rough, you know. And today, it wasn't much faster because it was like still a big swell, so it was really difficult to run the boat out there. But you know, the boat's great. guys on the team did a fantastic job in setting it up for us. So, you know, I think we're in the perfect setup today. Perfect boat, perfect setup.
Well, it certainly paid off with the checkered flag win for Spirit of Qatar. Mike, what's your biggest takeaways from here in Ocean City, Maryland?
Well, Miss Geico obviously had a very disappointing weekend, but don't count those guys out. You heard Mark Granite say it. You heard John Hagen say it. They're going to be back stronger than ever in Sunny Isles Beach, Florida. Also, congratulations, Spirit of Qatar, boat number 96, Sheikh Hassan Steve Curtis, a great first race here in America under the OPA banner.
A debut that could not have gone any better. All these winners can celebrate, but only for a short time. Next week, we're at Sunny Isles Beach, Florida for stop number 2 on the OPA Racing Series presented by